Well, hello everyone, I hope your week is going great. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the 1.2 update. But, you might notice, normally when I talk about raw gameplay updates, I'm in my editing bay, giving you some gameplay right in your face, just really warming you up. But this time, we're going one-on-one, and I'd like to just quickly recap what the 1.2 update is about. I've talked about it at length in an article very recently, so if you want to talk about all the fine points, I will link everything below, and everything I do talk about in this video will also be below. So bear that in mind once you finish this video. So 1.2 is going to bring quite a few important things that I'm quite happy about, including Civ reworks for elves and hobbits. There's supposedly a new campaign coming out, and I decided to withhold that because I added some extra levels, so it's probably going to release a little bit after the update. We'll see how it goes. And there's also going to be some graphical updates for the UI. There's been a lot of HUD reworks, and the UI has seen some changes. HP charge bars are bigger, so are unit icons, so you can really get that HD feeling from the game that we've all been looking for. But what I really wanted to talk about in this video is how I've decided to finally go through with crowdfunding LOME via Patreon. Now, veteran followers of my work, I know, prestigious, will know that for a very long time I've had quite an adamant stance about receiving payment for mod work, because I believe it muddies a lot of the sphere and influence of the purity that is modding. Which is why I would like to first of all state that this Patreon isn't about necessarily supporting the mod itself. The mod will continue development whether or not it is successful, but this is more about what the mod creates. This is linked to how in the past I have peddled my wares. I have an art book, there's soundtracks, all things that have been created of my own handiwork and less of the mod itself, which I've always thought were fair game to try and sell. But to be blunt, this tactic does not work. It's just not working at all. So I've decided to repackage all of these things into a nice box that is Patreon. Currently there are 3 tiers to the Patreon if you were to subscribe, and at each tier you'll sort of unlock more of that LOME content that I've always had, soundtracks, the art book. You'll also be able to vote on community updates and help influence where my next effort will go to. For example, if you sub right now, you'll be able to contribute to the first stretch goal, which is creating a fresh, brand new Lord of the Rings campaign from the ground up, which is something I've been on the fence about for years, but I've never thought the investment would really pay off because it's such a monumental task. So if you show your support, you'll be able to direct my efforts into that. Like I said, if the Patreon isn't successful, LOME isn't going anywhere. It simply means that content will probably become slower, it will probably become less consistent. As I stated, I really want to make that Lord of the Rings campaign, but it's a monumental task. So I'm asking for the community to help support that outlet, and it's not going to change the fact that the mod still is going to get updates. Just the campaigns, just using the editor to my advantage, creating new things for people to consume. Either way, the mod isn't going anywhere. Finally, before we wrap up, I'd just like to thank everyone who participated in the end of year survey. Your feedback was absolutely invaluable, and I was quite impressed by the amount of feedback I actually got. The sample size was quite adequate, I would say, and I'm hoping that in the near future when I put out another survey that it will only grow from there. So, thanks to everyone who's participated. It all keeps me going. Until then, please ponder your orbs and consider supporting the LOME Patreon. Catch you later.